Ronnie Nicholson. Now, Ronnie is one of the divers who has spent not just one dive, but up to hours in the Gulf tank, and Ronnie is one of the people who helped me get through my training. Ronnie, you all seem so fearless in there. Are you really fearless?
Well, we're not really fearless. It's just that you always get a little heart rate palpitation anytime you get in that exhibit. But they did teach us that, you want to move around slowly and methodically. That's why we look calm, cool, and collected. But you want to move around slowly and methodically. Any quick vibrations or movements would be picked up by the sharks as possibly a fish in distress.
Now, what I noticed watching you and the other divers who really know what they're doing down there is you are always aware of where those fish are.
Yeah, they want we could usually go in with 3 divers, 2 maintenance people, and 1 safety diver who is constantly observing the fish. And you try to see where they are at any point in time and predict their movements. And they give you a shark billy with yellow tape on it so that you kind of wave it in front of the shark and get him to go the other way. Of course, if he insists, you give him this right away, and you just let the divers know that there's a traffic problem here, you know. But we haven't had any problems at all, none whatsoever.
Ronnie Nicholson, thank you very much. Warren, Margaret.
Well, there's a whole lot more to show you out here at the aquarium.
That's right, Margaret. In fact, folks, when we return, we're going to check in with Arthel Neville, who's also out here today for the opening festivities going on inside and outside.
We're going to give you a look at just how they caught some of those fish that you'll see when you come down here. That and more when our live coverage of the grand opening of the Aquarium of the Americas continues.
Why are more and more...
In fact, you can feel the moisture, the humidity in there.
I don't know if there's any more humidity in there than there is out here.
Yeah, but we have the advantage of not only the humidity, but incredible sunlight right now, which is why every time you don't see us, we're busy wiping our foreheads and grabbing a quick drink of something cold.
What a nice little river breeze. Well, there's definitely a lot to see and do out here on opening day. News8's Arthel Neville has been wandering.
It's a lot easier than some of the others, but some took a pretty long time to round up.
Well, some of the most dangerous fish that there are in the aquarium can be found in the Amazon exhibit. Ken Wells is standing by at that exhibit to show us how that was done. Ken, you went on some of those fishing trips, didn't you?
Yes, I was. And by the way, we have moved to the Amazon exhibit. We'll be showing you some more about this exhibit a little later. But as far as the fishing expeditions, what has been going on for the last year can only be called a year-long fishing trip.
At times, the curators were more like rodeo cowboys than marine biologists, and the fish, like this sand tiger shark, were never happy to go.
Sand tigers are exactly what people think of when they think of a top predator, a big nasty shark. Although they're not probably amongst the most dangerous of sharks, they look like it. They can move lightning fast. It's the way they feed. They move from side to side and snap literally like a nasty dog, and anything that hits their teeth is generally dinner.
Most of the fish weren't that dangerous. Sometimes it was just a case of going to someone's home to pick up a fish. Local people donated specimens from their own aquariums, knowing they'd be able to see them later at the Aquarium of the Americas.
Got a fish on. He's off? Look at him, man.
And some fish came from local sportsmen, like these tarpon fishermen who worked with curators off the Gulf Coast.
Okay, Elijah, we lost one, but we still got another one on.
It should be nice, next year or whenever the deal's done, bring your family and your friends up there and watch the fish in the tank and say, well, that one I caught, well, this one Barbara caught, and that one Dickie caught.
The local fishermen gave the aquarium something no other aquarium has.
Nobody's ever really tried to keep tarpon anywhere near this size alive in an aquarium. I mean, there are a few very small tarpon around the country, 10 to 20 pounds at most. But these rascals are 110 to 170 pounds, and no one's ever dealt with that animal before.
Tarpon are powerful fish that can jump and fight to the last of their strength. Curators could never have caught them without the help of the local fishermen. But most of the time, the curators were on their own, facing the long, difficult job of finding and catching fish. They found sand tiger sharks swarming off the coast of Delaware. They went after them with special hooks, stretched out on a 1.5 mile long line.
Circle hooks, it curves in, so it really only catches in the mouth. So you see, that's what we're using for sand tigers primarily.
Marty Wisner is a senior curator for the aquarium. He makes sure the 2-inch hook isn't too much of a shock for the fish's system.
What we have is a baby brown or sandbar shark, and the shark is one we just caught here, about 30 days old. Right now, he's coming out of the shock of just having the hook in his mouth, but he's also confined to a very small box at the moment. So therefore, it's still a little bit traumatic, no question.
The sharks still have to have enough fight left in them to make it from the boat to the holding tank, and then the holding tank on the long trip to New Orleans. Otherwise, you might as well throw them back.
Okay, bud, you're gonna get free again.
Oh, wow, look at that mama.
But when a big sand tiger shark snatches the line, curators have a hard time just bringing the fish on board. It's a savage, dangerous fight where one wrong move can cost a finger or hand.
When they're on the line or in the stretcher, they're really mad, and any movement around their face or head will instigate them snapping. So we really have to be careful.
The hook comes out. The huge sand tiger shark slips into the holding tank. Crowds will see this fish at the Aquarium of the Americas, but they'll have no idea how hard he was to catch.
And behind me is the piranha exhibit. This was more difficult than any of the other fish to get because the aquarium didn't just go out and fish for them. They had to get an act of the legislature to allow them in here. Warren, Margaret?
For understandable reasons, Ken.
It's high noon now out at in front of the aquarium. Ron Foreman made a few remarks. Right now, Nancy Marsiglia is speaking. She's the president of the Audubon Institute.
Many of these same supporters are still working with us at the zoo and now at the aquarium. The growth of the Friends of the Zoo organization has truly been a phenomenal one, growing from a few hundred members to the 37,000 family members that we have today, the #1 zoo in membership in the country. Soon we hope we will be able to boast these same figures at the Aquarium of the Americas. We can already say we have 22,000 family members, 7,000 of whom are our charter members. Without the support of our membership, we would not be able to bring first-class family facilities to our area. The renovation of the zoo has been possible because of the funds raised through the successful relationship of our incredible development staff and our volunteers. This same relationship has enabled us to raise several $million in private funds to ensure that the Aquarium of the Americas will always remain a world-class facility. It was just a short time ago, about 2 years, when we changed our name from Friends of the Zoo to the Audubon Institute. We became the Institute.
Well, we've got a lot more coming up for you with the opening day festivities at the Aquarium of the Americas.
First, we're going to take a quick break, and then our News 8 special report will continue.
Spend a little time in Hidden Valley, and you'll discover that you can't rush the growing season. You can't cheat on freshness. And there's just no substitute for Hidden Valley Ranch. The dressing that brings your salad that valley fresh taste. Hidden Valley Ranch. It's the original.
Welcome to the Top 10. Today's Top 10 is from a golden classic. It's the food for the mood, the munch with the crunch. It's Church's Top 10 Pack. This offer has gone straight to the top of the charts, but it's no surprise why. The Top 10 Pack is 10 big pieces of Church's classic chicken for the little price of $4.99. The Top 10 Pack is a solid hit at any party, so get it while it's hot. The Church's Top 10 Pack. 10 pieces of golden chicken for only $4.99.
The company was supposed to have something out there to help me pick these tires up, but it was only me and I hurt my back. I had 2 ruptured discs and I needed an operation. I knew I couldn't get a job with bad back, so I called Morris Bart.
Call 525-8000. Consultations are free. 525-8000.
I recommend him to all my friends.
Thanks, Ted. If you get injured on the river or the rigs, call me. I'm attorney Morris Bart and I'm on your side.
I want to tell you about a golden opportunity to build or reestablish your credit. Since 1976, American Securities Gold Plan has helped hundreds of thousands of people, just like you, solve their credit problems forever. And the benefits are fantastic. An immediate $2,500 line of credit, Visa or MasterCard, cash loans, and much more. Best of all, no one is turned down ever. Call this number now for free recorded details on how you can go for the gold.
Well, it continues. Let's see, what is that, a paddlefish? Can you make it out from here?
I think that is a paddlefish. Welcome back, everyone, to our News 8 special hour-long report on the official grand opening ceremonies of the Aquarium of the Americas. Now the world's finest aquarium right here on the Mississippi River in New Orleans. Before we go any further with this program, we need to give you an important programming announcement. Those of you who are tuned in right now wondering where All My Children is, obviously it had to be delayed. It will be shown today. You will get today's episode today, 3 p.m. on Channel 8, so please hang in there with us.
All my kids will be there, don't worry. Now, I believe we're going to go to Arthel Neville.
Arthel Neville is standing by to tell us what's going on inside.
That's right. No, actually, I'm here at the Waldenburg Riverfront Park. I'm meeting all kinds of people here. No, Erica Kane's not here, by the way. But I have some friends from Andover, England. I have Annette and Graham. How are you today?
Hi, fabulous. Great day.
I understand, Annette, you just went through the aquarium. How was it?
Yeah, wonderful. Really exciting. In fact, we did go through on the first day. And it's so great to be here in America and do something that's first, that no one else from England's done on the first day. And we loved the sharks and the Mississippi Basin part. All of it was just so exciting, and it's been exciting watching the follow-up reports on the television about it. Made us want to come down again today.
Oh, great. I'm glad you're here. What about you, Graham? How has it been for you?
Absolutely superb. We've had a lifetime's experience here that we've always wanted to get, and we've landed on such a fantastic week and weekend. Everything's happened for us. It's been absolutely out of this world.
This is wonderful, and he's here getting something out of New Orleans, and they gave me something for my match collection. Thank you very much. Okay, and as you can see, this is just a wonderful park. People are really enjoying this, and we're going to talk about an expansion a little later. Margaret and Warren?
Well, lots of pomp and circumstance in store for today. The Navy Band is playing. Ron Foreman's been speaking. A lot of the executives with the Audubon
Margaret,
Institute.
Ron Foreman just introduced New Orleans Mayor Sidney Bartholomew, who is being applauded right now. We're going to join our camera from the podium, from the stage, and tune into that part of the ceremonies today.
Thank you very much. Today is one of the most significant days in the history of our great city. Less than 3 years ago, on this very spot, sat several old, obsolete warehouses. But more than being eyesores, the warehouses divided the city from its source of life, the great, majestic Mississippi River. For a community which developed as a result of the river, we had separated ourselves from its beauty and its power. But take a look around you today and see what a difference a few years can make, and some committed citizens of this great city of ours. Today, those warehouses are gone, replaced by a multi-million-dollar aquarium and acres of green space in a beautiful park. This reunites the people of New Orleans with its most precious resource. While the warehouses represented an era long gone, the opening of the Aquarium of the Americas symbolizes today a new and greater future for New Orleans. It is fitting that we stand together on Labor Day to celebrate the hard work and tremendous spirit and cooperation of the people of this great city that made this aquarium possible. And we have many people to thank: the Audubon Park Commission, the Audubon Institute, the community leaders whose visionary thinking and unwavering dedication carried this dream to fruition, the private sector, businesses.
We're going to rejoin Mayor Bartholomew and his commentary and the rest of today's grand opening festivities, but we continue with our overall look at this opening of the Aquarium of the Americas and what some people are already calling the new jewel in the Mississippi River.
Well, building the aquarium on time and on budget was not an easy task. In fact, at one point, workers accidentally dropped one of those big, giant pieces of acrylic that shattered on the ground below. That held things up a little bit.
Fortunately, no one was hurt during that accident because it was awfully close.
About this thick,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah. That obstacle and a lot of other even more serious obstacles, of course, were overcome, and they were overcome on time. News 8's George Ryan takes a look back at the construction aspects of this incredible facility.
Transforming this weathered wharf into a water wonderland wasn't easy. First, voters had to decide if they wanted it at all. They did, overwhelmingly. And what were paper dreams of fish squirmed to life with passage of Proposition 6.
And today, we are going to do something that many dreamed never possible. We are going to unite the people back with their river.
Nearly 3 years later,
unheard of, never been done before.
A race to completion.
I've never given birth, and but I can at least sympathize with what it's like.
Clyde Butler oversees the 950 construction workers who will remember this challenge for a lifetime.
Think it's gonna be ready? I hope so.
At one point, a wooden plank is all that separated electrician Ronald Wolf from a tank of hungry sharks.
A little scary, but you got used to it. You got used to it.
By studying the problems at other aquariums, like the one in Baltimore, the Aquarium of the Americas is literally on the cutting edge of construction.
We super designed all the things that will allow us to do to maintain these animals for a long and hopefully happy lives.
Every system in this building is backed up by a system, and then there's a backup to a backup. Nobody wants to see floating fish.
Rust is perhaps the #1 enemy in this saltwater environment. So you see plenty of fiberglass, plenty of plastic, even plastic electrical conduit, the only building in the city exempted from that part of the building code. You won't see the 100 tons of epoxy-coated steel here, but it's there, largely because of what was learned in Baltimore. Without the coating, steel rods rust, and cement supports crumble, causing a $6 million repair bill.
When you get your first look at the fish in the Aquarium of the Americas, you'll be looking through not glass, but plastic. Very thick plastic, as you can see. And believe it or not, this is one of the thinner versions that will be at work in our aquarium.
In all, more than 76,000 pounds of this acrylic is used here in 17 windows and 1 tunnel. There is tile from Germany, Italy, and China. In short, it is a $40 million monument to the way life is changing on the river. Fewer longshoremen, more tourists. A crown jewel on the muddy water's edge. George Ryan, News 8.
We are back here on the river, where Mayor Bartholomew is still speaking during today's grand opening ceremonies of the Aquarium of the Americas.
The Amazon exhibit is one of the most exotic sights inside of the Aquarium of the Americas. It really does look like a rainforest.
Oh, yeah?
It feels like a rainforest. I guess. I've never been to the
well,
rainforest.
with all they've got steam machines, so you've got that vapor in the air. It recreates it fairly well. Not that I've been to the Amazon, you understand, but from what I understand, you know.
But it is home to all sorts of fish, birds, reptiles. I've got the big macaws and the what do you call the birds with the beaks, the color?
Parrots?
Wait,
No.
Ken Wells can tell us about all this. Because
Cockatoo? I don't
he's there to give us an idea about what's going on.
Tell us more about Amazon, Ken.
Boy, I'll do the best I can. People are going to come here and they're going to see birds. Many of them are toucans, parrots. They're going to see all of this greenery behind me. They're going to see all these things. They'll wonder, what are these doing in an aquarium? I thought an aquarium was supposed to be full of fish. Well, what they're trying to do here is capture the sights and the sounds of the Amazon. And the key here is you're going to be walking through what is essentially the Amazon River Basin. So the fish will be right beside you. And above your head, you'll have all of this greenery. Warren, Margaret.
Thank you, Ken. Governor Romer is speaking right now. We're going to go right back to the stage.
Bringing the beauty of the Mississippi River to the people. The proposed waterfront complex of museums, aquariums, riverfront park, and zoo will create a cultural, recreational, education oasis in this part of our country. Measured in terms of brick and mortar, we have committed during the last 3 years to the Odenheimer Complex, the Learning Center, the Audubon Park and Zoo, and in September, bonds will be sold for construction of Phase 2 of the Riverfront Park. In part, the name of this game is tourism. In the recent session, we sponsored legislation that dedicated a portion of the sales tax for out-of-state advertising for the first time in Louisiana history. The avails of that tax will give us one of the largest advertising budgets in the country. And since the conference and convention goers will need a site to enjoy this city, I've attempted to place us in the forefront by providing substantial monetary support for the purpose of expanding the New Orleans Exhibition Hall. We've dedicated $100 million to the Port of Orleans, $75 million to the airport. And under the leadership of our mayor, we are focusing our attempts to win the battle against drug-related lawlessness and violence. More officers, better pay for firemen and policemen, modern equipment, drug-free zones, educational reform, attention to the juveniles responsible for 80% of the crime, recreational opportunities. It won't be easy, but we'll do it. Unemployment is down. Hope is up. I smell victory in the air. Isn't it ironic that the wetland state will have the best aquarium anywhere on earth? What a great day for New Orleans and for Louisiana. Thanks, everybody.
We're going to take a quick break and then continue with our special coverage of the grand opening of the Aquarium of the Americas right after these messages.
the exhibit. Looks nice.
Ron Foreman just got telling everyone out here assembled to hug and kiss and enjoy the aquarium, which I guess means the grand opening festivities are pretty quickly wrapping up.
It's awful hot to do any hugging and kissing right now, I'll tell you the truth. We're going to take a break and be right back with a lot more. That's my daddy's boat. He was the captain of the Deluge.
For how many years, Margaret?
I don't know. I have to ask my mom.
A long, long time.
That's right. Let's go out to Arthel Neville and see what's happening farther down in Woldenberg Park.
Hi, Margaret and Warren. There's so many people out here, and I just made 2 new friends. Actually, Hank here is my new friend, and Alana is an old friend of mine. Alana, have you been into the aquarium yet? You told me that, but what do you expect to see in there? Oh, Alana, you know you were talking to me so much before we came on the TV. So what, are you having fun out here, Alana? Talk to me. You know you talk a lot. Say something to all your friends out there in TV land. Oh no, I can't believe she's doing this to me. Margaret and Warren, back to you.
They never perform on cue.
Yeah, I could have provided my little girl. She'd have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Talk right up until the minute she's needed to.
Well, before we wrap up our coverage of the opening day festivities inside and outside of the aquarium, we want to give you another look.
Ken Wells, what's going on inside?
One of our people that's coming through here, this is Damian Kimball. He is 10 years old. Damian, tell me about the exhibits. You like it?
Yeah, I really love it. It's great.
Which do you like best?
The Amazon.
Okay, well, that's the word of an expert. Young Damian Kimball says, come to the Amazon. Warren, Margaret?
I guess this is all for the children more. I mean, all of us are children when it comes to visiting things like this, but the children really do get something special out of this.
You see the petting area?
Yeah,
you can pet the little fish. We hope you enjoyed this.
That'll do it for our live coverage. We'll see you again tonight at 5, 6, and 10 p.m., including lots more coverage of this official grand opening ceremonies.
We'll see you then.
This News 8 special report has been brought to you in part by Church's Fried Chicken.